Hello, dear students. Today we will take another part of the lesson, and that is wildlife sanctuary. Actually, these wildlife sanctuary they are also protected areas which provide suitable conditions for living to wild animals. These are you can say wildlife, and protected areas. That means they are the areas which are protected against any type of human activities, or you can say some limited human activities are allowed in this. Uh, Next is people living in wild sanctuaries are allowed to graze their livestock, collecting medicinal plants, firewood, etc. Those people which live around these wildlife sanctuaries or those areas which are protected, they are allowed to graze their cattle. That means they feed their cattle on the products of the forest or on the products of the wildlife sanctuary. Their livestock means their cattle. They may be cows, sheep, goat, etc. Collecting medicinal plants, that means those plants which are having the medicinal value. Those plants which are used for the treatment of different types of diseases, they are collected from the forest by these people and earn their livelihood. Then firewood. These people are they are tribal people. They do not use the modern these gadgets for the cooking. They collect the firewood. That means the wood which is fallen from the trees of these forests. They collect that wood and mm, cook their food. That means they are dependent on the forests for firewood, for medicinal plants, and they graze or they raise their livestock, their cattle, by grazing them in these areas. These tribal people, they do not cause much harm to the forests, because they know that if these forests get vanished, we will also get vanished from the surface of earth. Next is threatened species are protected and preserved in the sanctuaries. Those species who are in danger, that they become endangered. These are threatened species. That means it is the level on which, or the level uh, by which the living organism can become endangered. These threatened species are protected in the wildlife sanctuaries or those forests areas which protect the threatened species. They like black buck. If we say in case of the Satpura National Park, or you can say wildlife sanctuary, black buck, these are some animals which are threatened. That means they are near at the edge of getting endangered. White-eyed buck, these are the names of animals: elephant, golden cat, python, rhinoceros. These are all animals, etc. Many more animals are there. These are all animals which are being protected in this natural habitat. It is a natural wildlife sanctuary, protected natural habitat. You might have heard about zoo, or some among you someone might have visited the zoo. What is zoo? Actually, it is also a protected area, but it is a man-made large area in which the animals are protected in cages. These animals are protected in cages, or you can say in specified areas. It is not the natural habitat. It is not the natural habitat, but it is artificial habitat. In zoo, we provide all the necessary these commodities to the animals, like food, water, shelter, etc. And the animals present in the zoo, they are in a limited this area. They cannot use the natural resources directly, and these zoos are meant for recreation. That means people visit, and the revenue from the people is collected to feed these animals, or you can say these particular types of animals which are present and kept in the zoo. Wildlife sanctuary, if we compare the wildlife sanctuary with the zoo, Wildlife sanctuary and zoo. Wildlife sanctuary is the natural habitat. It is the man-made, or you can say artificial habitat. In this, the animals are kept free. They use the natural resources. In this, the animals are kept in cages. We provide food and shelter to them, and every necessary commodity is provided by we people to the caged animals present in the zoo. This is the little difference between zoo wildlife and this wildlife sanctuary and zoo. You can add more activities. Next is national park. It is another protected area, but it is large in size. Large protected areas and protect a whole set of ecosystem. What is ecosystem? Actually, ecosystem, it is that system in which plants, animals, and environment, they live in coordination with each other. That means living and non-living components are interacting with each other and live in that conditions, like forest ecosystem, like land, this river ecosystem. Whole ecos that means whole set of ecosystems is preserved in national park. Some lakes are there, forests are there, these ponds are there, pond ecosystem is also there. These national park, they protected the whole set of ecosystems. Next is presence, preserve flora. They flora means plants. These national parks, they are the hotspots of these biodiversity. That means they preserve uh, flora, plants, fauna, animals, and landscape. That means that area in which the different types of plants and animals are present. In your book, there is a special national park that is known as Satpura National Park. Is the first reserve forest. That means the first reserved forest of India. The first reserve forest which is meant for conservation of plants and animals is the Satpura National Park, which is present in MP, or you can say Madhya Pradesh. Next, Project Tiger was launched inside this to protect the tiger, because the number of tiger, it was very low in India. They were endangered. They might have extincted if the government had not put forth different types of steps to ensure their number may get increased. The Project Tiger was launched here to save the tiger. Next is human activities are strictly prohibited. Any type of human activity, that means grazing or not grazing, feeding cattle directly in the forest is not allowed there. They are prohibited there. And next is poaching, or you can say preying, poaching, killing of animals, collecting medicinal plants, or collecting firewood. These are all activities which are prohibited. These activities cannot be allowed to. The tribal people are not allowed to perform these types of activities in the national parks. Thank you. Have a nice day.